Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Haruna Abdulaziz. Today I will be talking about the major causes of the farmer-herders clash in the Middle Belt and other part of uh, northern Nigeria, which has been a major security threat and a part of the major conflict destabilizing this region. Of course, there are other factors, but as I said earlier, the major factors are the ones I will be talking about. Just like I identified in my previous video about the Fulani or Lezaki and all that. Today, speaking about the major causes of the conflict. Number one, at the very top of the list is the Fulani man's way of thinking. I know people will be thinking, what do I mean by Fulani man's way of thinking? You see, the Fulani man is centrally completely different from other people in the society. That is, he has a completely different civilization. He has a completely different way of thinking. You know, he is completely isolated from the society. This thing particularly shape his way of thinking, which is a very, very big problem to the modern society. The modern society exists, it doesn't exist in isolation. The Fulani man exists in isolation. So his way of thinking is completely isolated from the way people think. So therefore, he has no concept, he has no idea of how the society is and how the society works. I'm not speaking about the conventional Fulani that lives inside the town. That must have had education and then become acculturalized with the people. I'm talking about the real Fulani man in the village that moves with his cows. That is the nomadic Fulani. His way of thinking is completely different from ours. Why do I say that? He spent his entire lifetime, his entire time, with animals. So therefore, this completely shape his relations with people, that he studies and relate with animals more than he lives and study human society. Therefore, this poses a great challenge as to the way he thinks, because animals require strictness, use of force, and whatever it is. It's a very, very fundamental problem. This way of thinking is a very, very fundamental problem. Secondly, as regarding the Fulani man's way of thinking, education. Several effort has been made to make sure that the Fulani man has Western education and modern education, but to no avail. The nomadic system is completely a failure, and especially in the Middle Belt, because the Fulanis do not go to those schools. Therefore, his education system is entirely different. And when I say education, we're not talking about just going to class and study. No, education goes beyond that. It has to do with your attitude, your way of thinking, your behavior. What is embedded in you. That's what education is. The Fulani man lacks that. His relationship is entirely with animals. Therefore, to address this, he actually needs to change his entire way of thinking. How do they do that? Because this is completely different. He has no idea of how the society exists. He has no idea of how people relate. Therefore, this is a fundamental problem. One of the leading causes of those the particular conflict that is ravaging the Middle Belt. The second problem I will identify is the ranching part. The Fulanis move from one place to another. Therefore, government at the early stage in the 1970s, 1960s created ranching parts that the Fulanis will come and pass freely. The local people, as a result of land accumulation and land grabbing, keep farming and cultivating those areas until it reach a stage that that part is not there. And therefore, if the Fulanis have to pass, sometimes they will have to encroach into people's farmlands. This particular problem, the absence of that passage for them to pass with their cows, has become a very, very great problem. One of the major causes of the conflict across the Middle Belt, the areas of the Plateau, the Benue, Nasarawa State, and even part of states like Taraba State. This is one of the major causes of the Fulani conflict. The third reason, the third reason I will identify is crop encroachment. Of course, as it relates to the previous one, as I mentioned, that absence of the path, the absence of the passage for the Fulanis to move with their cows from one place to another has leads to the Fulanis now encroaching into farmlands, destroying farm products, and then sometimes this action is not because there is absence of the path for them to pass. No, it's deliberately. Sometimes the Fulani deliberately encroach into people's farm, allow their animals to feed on people's crops, and at the end of the day it becomes a problem between the Fulani man who is moving his cow and then the farmer whom his crops have been destroyed. This particular problem is one of the major problems that are causing the farmer-herders clashes in the area of middlebelt in Nigeria. And the last, but not the least, problem that is causing farmer-herders clash is the cattle rustling. Whether we like it or not, we must clearly define that the local people, some scrupulous members of the society are engaged into this. That is, they follow the Fulani people to the bushes where they are rearing their animals and attempt to either steal or roast their cows. They go there with arms, attacking the Fulani people to steal their cows, and eventually for purpose of selling. Or this also is part of the major problem. That is, the local people, because they see the Fulanis moving unprotected, or for whatever reason they attack them in an attempt to steal their cows and rustle them. This is one of the major problem. And then if the Fulanis fight back, it will now bounce back, and then those local people will now be attacked by the Fulanis, which will eventually cause a lot of problem, and then metamorphose into a ravaging conflict affecting areas. So these, I believe, are the major causes of the conflict. I said the Fulani's way of thinking. Of course, his way of thinking is completely different. This affected and caused by lack of modern education, lack of education of how the modern society works, and then he spent his entire lifetime, relating with animals. This is particularly a major problem. Secondly, the passage, the passage for Fulani to move with their cow from one place to another has been encroached by the local farmers. This is a major problem. Without passage, the Fulanis will have to cause problem for you. Then thirdly, I said destruction of crops. Destruction of crops by the Fulani people. Sometimes the Fulanis deliberately allow their cows to move into people's farms and cause trouble. And then lastly, I said cattle rustling. Cattle rustling, the theft, for Fulani's cows and all that. These are not the holistic reasons but I believe these are the major causes of the Fulani Fulani herders and farmers clash across the areas of Plateau, Benue, Nasarawa, Taraba, and other major part of where the Fulanis reside. I know you'll be thinking of, okay, how about government failure? Of course, government over the time has failed in certain areas of providing security for the people, and then ensuring there is a smooth relationship between the Fulani. But these are the major causes. Before government will get involved, the clash must have happened, and then before government will take action. Of course, a lot of effort has been made, especially the ranching system, the nomadic Fulani education, and the security operatives trying to mediate between farmer and herders clashes, the security operatives trying to avoid cattle rearing. However, whether we like it or not, these are the major causes. And in my next video, I'll be addressing the immediate, that is the causal factors, that is the immediate factors that cause Fulani farmer herders clash in the Middle Belt. Thank you very much. If you find this video educating, you should comment with your belief, or whatever you disagree with the video, and improvements will be made. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my video, and wait for the next chapter of the video, where I'll be addressing the immediate factors that cause the farmer herders clash in the middle belt. Thank you very much.